Today, the Dallas Cowboys against the Cincinnati Bengals.
Nearly 60,000 have jammed themselves into Riverfront Stadium for this first meeting ever in Cincinnati between the Cowboys and the Bengals. An important game for Dallas. They currently hold a one-game edge over the Giants with 3 to go in the NFC East. Perhaps a more significant game for Cincinnati. They are involved in a 3-way fight for the AFC Central Division Championship. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Vern Lundquist. A local columnist named Jack Brennan began his Friday column this way. For Cincinnatians, this is the closest thing football can offer to a papal visit. The Dallas Cowboys are coming to town, finally. This game has been sold out for weeks. You can get a ticket if you want to go out on the sidewalk and pay a couple of $100 to a scalper. But it's that kind of pressure that's here, Terry Bradshaw, and this really does have a special feeling.
Well, this stadium here, Riverfront Stadium in Cincinnati, I've got a lot of fond memories of it, and they're mostly in a negative way, believe it or not, in the fact that most of the times when the Steelers played here, we had turnovers one game along, Vern. We had 10 turnovers. 7 of them were fumbles, and 4 of them were interceptions. But this is a hostile crowd, but it's also the kind of crowd you like to play in from. They're good football fans.
Significant game for both these teams. How do you see the game evolving? What are the keys?
Well, I believe that in big football games, crucial football games, the 2 important people are the quarterbacks. Danny White has led his football team to 10 touchdowns in the last 2 weeks, 7 of those touchdown passes. On the other side, Boomer Esiason, a second-year pro out of Maryland, has kept all year long this offense of the Cincinnati Bengals in the tops of the NFL. So we got 2 young quarterbacks who I think are the key to the game today.
Not a bad day, all things considered. 38 degrees and cloudy with a 30% chance of rain. It is expected to get as high as 45 before the afternoon is out. And a sellout crowd, some of whom are wearing cowboy blue and silver. Dallas has won the toss, and that means that Jim Breech will do the kickoff chores. And James Jones, number 23, is back to return. He has taken the place the last couple of weeks of Robert Levette, the rookie from Georgia Tech, who has been put on injured reserve. Short, Jones at the 8. And James Jones gives the Cowboys decent field position. The tackle made by number 56, Ron Simpkins. Danny White, Tony Dorsett, Timmy Newsome, Tony Hill, and Mike Renfro at the skill positions. Up front and improving Chris Schultz. Glenn Titensor, Tom Rafferty starting his 147th straight game. Peterson, Jim Cooper, and Doug Cosby, the tight end. First down, 10 Dallas from the 32-yard line. Danny White, 59%. He has cut down on his interceptions considerably in the last couple of games. And Dallas will operate from the eye on first down, 10 from the 32. Bengals threatening a blitz. They're coming. Dorsett, stiff arm, caught for a loss. It's Timmy Newsome, and Ross Browner, number 79, gets there first. 3-man front for the Bengals, Edwards, Tim Crumry, and Ross Browner, who just had the tackle. The linebackers, Jeff Shue, Carl Zander, Glenn Cameron, and Reggie Williams. And the secondary, Lewis Breeden, Ray Horton, Bobby Kemp, and number 22, James Griffin. Loss of 5 last play, second down, 15. And having some trouble getting his back set. Dorsett has his head taken off, and there's a fumble. White is back there and falls on it at the 5. And Browner falls on him. Watch it from the end zone.
You're going to see Danny turns around and heads to Tony, and when he cuts back inside, Browner knocks the ball loose. Well, there's Browner, 79, as he chases White, who makes the recovery for him. For the first 2 plays, the Bengals are absolutely burned, flying high on emotion.
Third down, 37. This season, Dorsett has been fumbling an average of only once every 59 carries. Carl Poe comes in, and the fans are on their feet. Third and 37.
about the safety that it comes from 4 down linemen as they have Crumry 69 and Boyarsky 61 and Browner 79, all of them putting good pressure, beating their people and getting inside. Now actually Crumry, the nose tackle 69, got a little carried away as he throws Danny down and very easily could have got a penalty right there, Vern.
Earlier this week, Tom Landry was asked if he would have problems getting the attention of his team for Cincinnati since they've got the Giants next week. They said, Tom, can you get their attention? He said, I hope so. I'm sure he has their attention now.
Well, the thing that he said also is he realized the remaining 3 games that the Cowboys had were against football teams still in the running to make the playoffs. So this is a hungry Bengal football team they're playing today, even though they're in what is considered by many the weaker division, the AFC Central, which used to be the strongest division.
Mike Saxon in his first year with Dallas will have the free kick from the 20. Eddie Brown and Mike Martin are deep to receive. Mike Martin, number 88, and Eddie Brown, number 81. They wait at the 30. 2-0 Cincinnati. 3 plays into the game. And not a particularly good kick. Eddie Brown has it. There's a clip or a flag. Illegal block of some sort at the 34. Todd Fowler makes the tackle. Not a clip, but illegal contact. Well, what a way to start the game.
Well, what is surprising as we get the penalty call.
Illegal block, number 30, receiving team, first off.
That's on Bill Johnson out of Arkansas State. The thing about it is that is so interesting is that the pressure has come from the linemen, not from the blitzes, which is the Cowboys are expecting the Bengals to blitz a lot.
Here comes the no-huddle offense. That, by the way, is the first time a safety has been registered against Dallas since 1970 in a 38-0 loss to St. Louis. No huddle, Esiason back to throw. Deep right side, caught by Collinsworth at the 39-yard line. Mike Hickman, number 58, makes the tackle, and again, the no-huddle offense, and Esiason is expected to throw again. Sam Wyche calls all the plays, but he has a list of the first 23 plays in this game that he wants to run. 1st and 10. Going deep in the zone, should have been intercepted. Michael Downs had it bounce off his shoulder pads.
Well, the first play, the thing that you notice right off the bat is that as we look at Downs is the fact that Esiason has had plenty of time to search the field and find the open receiver. The first time he hits Collinsworth, the second time he has a wide open 81 Brown coming in there and he misses him.
Again, the no huddle. They worked this to perfection last week against Houston. 4-man rush. Ball is caught. Rodney Holman has enough for the first down. That's the tight end to the 50-yard line. Michael Downs and Gene Lockhart make the tackle. Terry, what's the advantage of the no-huddle?
Well, the advantage is that it allows Esiason at least 10 additional seconds to call the plays at the line of scrimmage. It is similar to a 2-minute offense, but in the effect, he can do anything out there he wants, but he has at least 10 seconds. And if you run people in on him and try to switch up, he can snap the ball quickly and get a penalty.
On the 4th play, they go with 2 tight ends. M.L. Harris has joined Rodney Holman. First down to the 50. That is Harris's motion. This is Kinnebrew. And that's good for a gain of 2 as Ron Fellows, number 27, and Michael Downs, 26, make the tackle. 40-year-old Sam Wyche. Cincinnati has won 4 of its last 5 home games against NFC teams. The Cowboys have the best record in the NFC against AFC teams, 38-14. 2nd down at 8. Boomer Esiason, second-year man, started 5 games last year and got the starting nod over Ken Anderson after an 0-2 start this year. 2nd and 8. Reverse faked, and James Brooks has it with a blocker in front to the 15-yard line. A gain of 33 yards.
You're going to see is Esiason comes out. He hands off to Brooks, 21, who fakes the reverse to Brown, and he's got a good lead block that time by Montoya, the right guard, and Montoya does a super job downfield on clean scale, and then Brooks, 21, cuts back inside.
That's a gain of 33, first down at the 16-yard line. Cincinnati leads it 2-0. Left side, man open. Collinsworth, first and goal at the 4. Boomer Esiason early in the season, didn't you?
I liked him. The thing that I am most impressed with, Vern, is his poise. He absolutely feels like this stadium is empty and there are not 100 million people watching on television.
Now Cincinnati puts their special goal line offense. They have all offensive linemen up on the front line. Charles Alexander in the backfield. They sometimes will pass from this. This is Kinnebrew, and he shoves the pile forward for a touchdown.
Sam Weiss told us about Kinnebrew, the fact that he may look like he's stopped as he goes off left tackle. There, folks, he appears to be stopped, but he drives and he drives. He's 270 pounds. He's still driving, and I'd be doggone if he doesn't finally get in the end zone. So what he said is evidently true. The guy looks like he's stopped, Vern, and then boom, he's in the end zone.
Jim Breech to make it a 9-0 game. It's a 72-yard drive in 7 plays. Kinnebrew from 3 yards out. We have played only 5 minutes and 2 seconds, and the Bengals lead 9-0. This crowd of nearly 60,000 is ecstatic with joy at this 9-0 start. The Bengals have gotten 72 yards in 7 plays, primarily with a no-huddle offense. 3 minutes and 41 seconds, and Kinnebrew got the touchdown from 3 yards out. Now Jim Breech is on to kick off. And the Cowboys will send James Jones as the middleman of 3 deep. He is flanked on either side by Todd Fowler and Timmy Newsom. Cowboys are going to have a sustained drive to get back to plus yardage. James Jones to the 26-yard line. There's Ernie Staunton, the defensive coordinator. Now, what's he going to have to do to change things?
Well, the thing that's happening with the no-huddle offense is not allowing Staunton enough time to get his 7 defensive backs in the football game, which is what they run their blitz scheme off of. As long as they're in a no-huddle offense, he cannot blitz his safeties. He'll have to do it with linebackers.
And I'm sure Cincinnati, having had that success, will come right back with a no-huddle next time they get the ball. The Cowboys have 36 yards negative in total offense so far. They trail by 9, first down at the 25. Quick drop, right side, caught by Mike Renfro. And that's a gain of about 3. Lewis Breeden, number 34, made the tackle, and Danny White hit the ground after the tackle. Fair defense that cows the Cowboys a 44-0 humiliation 3 weeks ago. And off Dorsett. That's good for the first down. Up near the 38-yard line, and Lewis Breeden, number 34, again made the tackle. Dorsett is one of the few who has played Cincinnati before. In the 1979 game in Texas Stadium, he gained 119 yards in a 38-13 victory. These two teams have played only once previous to that. That was in '73. And again, the Cowboys at home scored first down and 10. Dallas's first down of the game. 9-0. Cincinnati leads. Play action. White to Cosby. First down, fumble. And Cincinnati has it. Reggie Williams, after Bobby Kemp made the hit. 2 fumbles already for Dallas. 1 recovered by the Bengals.
see Cosby as he clears Zander, 91, the linebacker, and then boom, boy, up from the strong safety comes Bobby Kemp as he knocks the football loose, and then Williams, 57, he recovers for the Bengals.
No huddle from the 45. Esiason to throw. Wants it deep, goes deep. Intended for Eddie Brown. Caught! No, he juggled the ball. Eddie Brown is the man the Cowboys wanted to draft last year.
Well, you're going to see Walls 24 is doing an outstanding job. This ball, this man actually is covered, but the ball actually was dropped perfectly into Brown's hands, and then he juggles it, and then Walls is versus throwing the ball all over the field.
They're loose. 9-0 Cincinnati, second down and 10. And again, no pressure on Esiason. Caught, Eddie Brown. Touchdown.
Again, this starts off with excellent pass protection. Unless the Cowboys are able to get in there and get their blitz scheme going, Esiason will have this kind of protection all day long. There's a throw right over Walls, who beats him by a step. And boy, the really good job is done downfield by the wide receiver, giving Brown a good block, enable him to cut back inside for the touchdown.
Breech to make it a 16-0 game. Played 5 minutes and 40 seconds. And the Bengals are up by 16. And watch Boomer Esiason. He's only in his second year. Sam, with his tongue firmly in his cheek, said, well, there's a 10-degree incline. We have 4 feet of water at one end zone. Other than that, it's like any other 73-yard field you've ever seen. That must be how the Cowboys feel right now. James Jones. Not a whole lot. Ours is an amazing 16-0. Detroit trailing New England by 7-0. Tony Eason with a 16-yard run. A safety and a fumble. The Cowboys, in their 4 losses this year, are minus 14 in turnovers. They're minus 1 today. White had to throw it away as Jeff Shue, number 59, was right in his face. Second and 10. 6 minutes and 6 seconds. Landry with Jim Schaffner trying to solve the puzzle that they have.
Puddle?
That's what they've fallen into.
Got the water.
That's right. It's that end zone with the 4 feet of water I'm thinking about. White. Man is open. Ball is tipped away. Louis Breeden, number 34, who was quoted in the papers on Friday as saying, immensely overrated. Immensely overrated. That's what I think of the Dallas Cowboys. I'm tired of all this America's team hype and media stuff.
And then when I brought it to his attention, I think Lewis wishes he hadn't said it too.
3rd and 10. Blitz. Emmanuel King, number 90. Rookie from Alabama. Merry Christmas.
We're going to look on the outside. As you see, 1 linebacker up inside, 2 on the outside, and they're going to come right up the middle, hole, and then they're going to put the pressure on White. Okay, there comes 26 right up to center, and then 99 Emmanuel King, and then on the outside, as you see, Crumride, number 69, as he beats him from the outside, the defensive tackle getting outside as the defensive end.
That is only the second time Danny White has been sacked in the last 3 games. He was sacked 6 times against Chicago. Saxon. And again, terrific field position for Cincinnati. Mike Martin. Flags are down, and so is Martin by Victor Scott, number 22, at the 45-yard line.
Well, that time, Emmanuel King was so excited about the pressure he had put on White that he comes down on the punt team now and gets a clip on Bates, number 40.
There's referee Dick Jorgensen. And again, it's the illegal block. 42-yard punt and 3 on the return. Offense in this game so far, and we've only played 5 minutes and 50 seconds, minus 18 for Dallas, 117 for the Bengals, and they are back. Play action, and Esiason rolls out, chased by Clinkscale. Eddie Brown has the catch. Esiason is 5 of 7. And again, the no-huddle offense. Terry, this keeps Dallas really guessing defensively.
Well, they can't get their defensive people in to match up now on second down. They have to keep their defensive backs off the field.
1st and 10. Incomplete.
I'll tell you now that we have an incompletion, I can explain that a little better. You say, well, they can't. Why can't they run them on now? Well, what happens is, well, the plays
down and 10. Mike Martin comes in as a 3rd wide receiver. Blitz. Esiason goes deep. Martin is open. Tipped away by Everson Walls.
Now that was a great job by Walls, as that ball appeared to have slipped out of Esiason's hands.
Walls leads the NFL in interceptions with 8.
Now you see Martin, 88. He actually had Walls beaten earlier, and the ball slipped and just fluttered up there and floated.
And Cincinnati goes with 4 wide receivers, and watch Brooks. See if he sneaks up to contain the blitz. The Cowboys, though, do not appear to be blitzing. 2-step drop. Eddie Brown slips the tackle. Might be enough for the 1st down at the 32. It is.
The thing I want you to watch is the block. You're going to see coming down. Now, Brown, 81, will catch the little hook, but the inside receiver, Martin, that time's responsibility was to time it up so as that when he caught the...
Brooks. Inside the 30 near the 28-yard line, and John Dutton moved over and made the tackle. Number 78.
One of the real keys in this game is going to be the play of the left guard for the Bengals, number 74, Brian Bladis, as we have a fisticuffs.
With Randy White, the man he's blocking.
Well, you got White, you got Lockhart. A couple of guys I really wouldn't want to fool with. I don't know about you, Vern, but there's Bladis, 74. He's the guy that, if he gets out today, the guy that's taking his place has a broken hand.
Bladis weighs in at 300 pounds. 2nd down and 5 from the 27. 16-0, Cincinnati leads. And again, an absence of pressure, and the ball is incomplete. Esiason will get the ball there in a hurry.
Well, he has, as they say in the vernacular, a strong arm, a live arm. The thing that Sam Weiss said yesterday.
3rd down and 5. See if the Cowboys have that blitz tendency again. They do have men up on the line. Now James Brooks moves up. Watch out for a quick handoff to Brooks. There it is.
Was it over? See, Brooks is just a quick little trap right up the middle. There's no one there. All the coverage is spread out. There's no one left in the secondary to make the tackle, and Brooks walks into the end zone virtually untouched.
The key block there supplied by Dave Remington, the center. That was a play put in especially for this game against the Cowboys 4-0 defense. They thought they could get the Cowboys blitzing and sneak Brooks up, and what he actually said was, when he stepped up in the line, "I've got Bates." Here's a bad snap, and the ball is tipped and intercepted. That is the first thing that has gone wrong for Cincinnati today. That play put in especially against the Cowboys 4-0 defense.
Well, they had to catch the right opportunity too, Vern. They had to catch them in the plus territory inside their 30. Otherwise, they were not going to run this play because they expected the Cowboys to come with the blitz. The real key to this is one man and one man only, and that's the center Remington, as he will simply block back, and then Brooks will slash right up inside. There's no one left to make the tackle. There's Remington, blocks his man, drives him off the football, and then Brooks just boom, man, he's right there gone.
We think we can catch them in that blitz look, and they did. And it is 22-0.
Well, that's one of those things that you take a chance on, Vern, is the fact that you take a guess with a football team, you put in a specific play, and then you have to convince your football team that it'll work. Now they got an onside kick, and they recover.
They've got it. Sam Washington, your old teammate.
Well, I'll tell you, we're looking at a score of 22-0, and with the Bengals having everything go their way, if the Bengals go down and score now the way that they are fired up, you can almost say that this game is gone. Let's look at it again. The key to an onside kick is getting the people to turn and their backs on your team and run backwards. Now you see Breech come in. He just bumps the ball. It has to go 10 yards. There it clears the stripe. You see no Cowboys in sight. They've all turned and gone back to make their blocks.
First and 10, Cincinnati. They lead 22-0. Esiason wants more. Intended for Kinnebrew of all people, the 270-pound fullback. My gracious.
Well, I'll tell you, White said the thing that we have.
Caught. First down, 35. Rodney Holman. And Michael Downs makes the tackle.
One of the very interesting things to watch now is the fact that Cincinnati has total control of the game. The Cowboys have blitzed. They ran the ball touchdown. Now they're dropping off play in zone, and they're hitting these guys in the seams. And you're going to get a team you can watch and see if they totally get frustrated and get so mad, they start making ridiculous mistakes.
First down and 10. Deep left side. Oh. Ron Fellows had a shot at the interception, didn't get it. Prorated over the full 4 quarters, at this rate, the Bengals would wind up with 800 yards of total offense and the Cowboys -8.
Third quarter and the fourth quarter is where we're going to really find out what happens, because they're going to have to come down and settle down eventually.
It is 22-0. Cincinnati leads. Most points ever scored against the Cowboys in the first quarter, we are told. Ever. Eddie Brown. Cowboys have it. That's a fumble. And Gene Lockhart picks up the fumble, and the Cowboys finally get a break. Everson Walls forced it.
You can see the cushion that Walls is giving Brown as he makes a simple sideline break. He has control of the football, and boy, that was a good job by Emerson as he just fought with him, scratched, and finally knocked that football out. And that's the kind of aggressiveness they're going to have to display to get themselves back in this football game.
Danny White brings him up with 5:12 to go first quarter. 22-0 Cincinnati. White with a play fake. Lobs it out left side. Overthrows Tony Dorsett. Terry, they're not out of their game plan yet, are they, the Cowboys?
No.
I mean, they don't have to be.
No, the Cowboys are a football team that can always look like they're out of the game.
Down and 10. That's Renfro in motion. White into the right flat for Tim Newsom. That's short of the first down at the 43-yard line. Bobby Kemp, number 26, makes the tackle.
Now, something that I was looking for as we look at Kemp, the strong safety, I was looking to see who Breeden was going to be in control of today.
And 2 from the 43. Tony Hill. He doesn't like to go over the middle a whole lot.
Well, this was a bad read by Danny. It's a smash read where the wide receiver goes down and goes inside, and the slot guy, in this case Renfro, goes down and goes out to the corner. That time when Hill came inside, the entire coverage went to Hill, and Renfro had no one on him on the backside. Even that time Breeden came off and tried to cover Hill, and Renfro...
Near corner. Good kick. Touchback. Vince Albritton was the man who was down there. The Cowboys get the turnover, but they can't get the first down. Cincinnati's got the ball back. They have a 22-0 lead and the ball with their worst field position so far.
Now the Cowboys have come in with 7 defensive backs right off the bat to start this.
So they open with their prevent defense, and Esiason changes the line at the line of scrimmage. He's still got 10 seconds on the third, changes the play, rather. They ran out of time. Delay of game call.
No, they called timeout. The Cowboys called timeout, Vern, because they were confused when Esiason changed the play. The backs shifted. They threw.
Dallas called before the snap by number 22.
I'll tell you, Scott barely got that off, but they were confused by the adjustment that Esiason made to what they were trying to do. It's that cat-mouse game, and therefore the Bengals won this one.
So the Cowboys used the first of their timeouts. Elsewhere in the NFL, Detroit has now kicked a field goal. New England leads it by a 7-3 count in the second quarter. Chicago over Indianapolis, an early 3-0 lead. Kansas City now leading by 7 from the 20. Jennings wears number 36. Kinnebrew breaks the first tackle by Jeffcoat and then picks up a yard or two. Gene Lockhart and Dexter Cleescale.
Now the Cowboys had success this time in stopping Kinnebrew, so now they're saying to themselves, look, we can play their run with our defensive backs and then still be matched up with their wide receivers in the no-huddle offense.
And the chess game continues because now Cincinnati goes back. They're on in 7. 3.5 to go, first quarter. That's Mike Martin in motion. Inside handoff to Brooks. Belted and popped at the 26.5-yard line. Randy White, number 54, made the tackle. Randy White, of course, is a legend at the University of Maryland, where Boomer Esiason set all kinds of passing records a decade later. And we asked Boomer yesterday if he had ever met Randy White. He said, no, I have great respect for him, but I've never met him. And I hope I don't meet him today for the first time flat on my back. So far, he has not. Vlados has done a good job. 3rd and 3. Was the cover man. There's no flag. Mike Martin, the intended receiver, and for the first time, Pat McAnally gets that particular task. Low snap. Pressure's coming, but Fowler picks up, and Bates grabs it at the 29. How about that by Bill Johnson for downfield play? Number 30. Sets to the 36. Reggie Williams, number 57, made the tackle. Tony is on his way to another 1,200-yard season. If he keeps on course. White going deep. Hill is down there, has the catch at the 40, and is out of bounds at the 35. And with that catch, Tony Hill has equaled the number of games in which he has caught a pass, the club record, 58, held by Drew Pearson, who is on the Cowboys sidelines.
This is an ideal situation for White, as he had his best receiver, Hill, matched up against Ray Horton, number 20, the right corner for the Bengals. He drives him down, as you can see. Danny's going to drop back. There's plenty of time to throw the football, and that's the key. Starts right there, picks him up, lays it up nicely, and then Hill makes the good catch.
And Drew Pearson, who is an assistant coach for the Cowboys, now shares the record with Tony Hill. First down from the 35. Dorsett has some room. Inside the 30 near the 27. James Griffin and Ray Horton collaborate on the tackle.
They like to get the ball to Tony deep, and everything looks like it's going up the middle, Vern, and he'll take that one step up the field.
Second down and 2. 22-0. Dorsett wiggles, leans, doesn't get the first down. Tim Crumrye, number 69. I'll tell you a funny story about him. We walked into their practice locker room, or the practice parking lot yesterday. You can sure tell which car he's driving. There's a big old 3rd and 1. Newsom. That's enough for the first down at the 25.
Now, Newsom was a running back the Cowboys have had, and he flat right out said, hey, I'm not getting the football enough. And in the last 2 games, he's rushed for 95 yards, and that's not a lot, but when you're not getting the football at all, that's more than enough to keep him happy. And that time they gave it to him, showed some confidence, and he picked up the first down.
Well, the first quarter of what has been a Cincinnati dream has come to an end. Conversely, it has been a nightmare for the Cowboys, who find themselves trailing 22-0.
By Miller Beer. Miller made the American way since 1855. Toyota, who reminds you to get more from life. Buckle up. Who could ask for anything more? And by the astonishingly simple new Sony Handycam. All the excitement of video movies now in the palm of your hand.
The Cincinnati Bengals have had a lot to cheer about. Their team leads 22-0. Cowboys first down and 10 from the 25. Split backs, wide receivers to the right side. 22-0, Cincinnati leads. Play fake, White with time. Lobs it deep left side. Intercepted. Picked off inside the 5-yard line. James Griffin, number 22. That's his 6th of the year. And Danny White just kind of lobbed that up for grabs. And now has to go face the wrath of Landry.
Well, you work so hard to get yourself in a position for a touchdown or possibly a field goal to get your team back in the game. That was a simple down, out, and up move. Griffin didn't bite, and Danny made a poor choice in throwing the football down and laying it up for the interception. Gives the Bengals.
They operate from the 12-yard line. Kinnebrew. Sam Weiss said yesterday he's listed on the program at 255, but he's in the 270-plus range.
Well, I talked to Paul Brown, and I what is with these fullbacks? He said, I've always liked. I've been
back with the Cleveland Browns with Marion Motley, then Boobie Clark, Pete Johnson, now Kinnebrew. Esiason pumps once, goes deep. Walls, good coverage, pass overthrown. And Esiason is decked for the first time today. Back at the 5-yard line.
Not only is he decked, but he's hurt. Down.
Turk Schonert, number 15, is the backup quarterback. Ken Anderson has been relegated to 3rd-team status now. And Esiason
he missed
still down.
Excuse me, Vern. He missed a couple of games earlier, or parts of them, with a hip corner. They're grabbing his left leg. I don't know if that's what it is. We're going to find out. But it's going to happen right after he releases the football. As you can see, there's the pump. Now he gets set, and then there comes, looks
Jesse
like
Penn.
Dutton and Penn, and they get his left knee trapped. Dutton has it on the bottom, and Penn coming in over the top. It looks like they kind of got his leg in a twisted motion. We're working on the right leg, so it's the right leg. Now, Turk Schonert is a guy that Sam Weiss had to call the night when he made the decision going into the 3rd game of the season when they were 0-2. He made a decision that Boomer Esiason was going to be the Bengal quarterback. And he had to call this guy and tell him, he said, I'm going to make a move, and I'm going with the young kid. I hope I made the right move.
They're lined up to the left side. 3rd down and 7 from the 15. Direct snap, and Schonert out of the shotgun is going to have to run to the 20, to the 23, and may have enough for the first down. He does.
Well, the reason I hollered was the fact that when he hit the ground and the way they are protecting the quarterback, Smerrick, number 60, who was in hot pursuit. The minute the quarterback went down, then bang, right on his back went Smerek. And the way they protect quarterbacks, you can hardly even hit them when they're standing up, let alone when they hit the ground. So this is surprising to me. Now, you see Smerek 60. There's a good block by Remington to slow him down. And finally, Jeffcoat 77 slows him down. Look at this guy run. Now he's down, and there comes Smerek. And in my opinion, that could have very easily been a personal foul.
First down 10, Cincinnati. 10:23 to go. 13:15 to go first half. Stanford Jennings, number 36, with the carry. And now for an NFL Today report. Let's go to Brett Musburger. Cris Collinsworth comes near to the left side. He and Schonert are best buddies on this team. See if Schonert might have Collinsworth in mind. No blitz. Across the middle. Caught. M.L. Harris, the tight end. That's another first down in front of Bill Bates. And they are going to go with a no huddle, even though Schonert is now the quarterback. Looks over, gets a signal from Sam Weish on the sideline. And the Cowboys cannot get their defensive changes made if indeed they wanted some.
Notice how everyone walks to the center of the quarterback. Everyone walks up there. They're just kind of mealing around, around, just hecking around. He's calling these plays. Then they'll step up and they'll snap the football.
First and 10, Cincinnati with a 22-0 lead. Brew, Kinnebrew. Look at him rumble. The Bengals are ripping the Cowboys defense to shreds.
Well, when you weigh 270 pounds, I don't guess it takes a lot to get you going. Thing Sam said, he said if we can ever get him where he has the speed to get it going, he said he just gets faster and faster. Now you can look, he's downfield. Clinkscale said, oh baby, let me have a ride. And then Downs comes along, and Bates comes along. 3 guys to bring this guy down.
40 yards on 5 carries, first down at the 30, and the Bengals already lead 22-0. James Brooks, Montoya leading the way. Brooks falls and is knocked down at the 30-yard line. Mike Hegman. Yesterday, and Cris Collinsworth said he is a tough kid. Second and 10. Kinnebrew. Boy, for those defensive linemen, it's like tackling one of your own. He outweighs some of them.
Cowboys that time came with their linebacker blitz, is something we hadn't seen ever since they early in the football game.
Brian, the Bengals were in this situation. James Brooks snuck up, and here he comes again. Now the Cowboys are not in the same defensive scheme, so Brooks backs away. And a flag is thrown as I think the 30-second clock had expired. Remember back in the first quarter when Brooks came up and said, I've got him, and then took the handoff.
Number 15, offense, still third down.
It's now 3rd and 11. Clinkscale left side, Downs on the right side. They are showing blitz, but not up the middle. And there is no blitz. Pass incomplete. Intended for number 81, Eddie Brown.
The thing that was...
This is a 49-yard field goal attempt. Short. Not enough. One of the few things that has not gone Cincinnati's way. We have 9 minutes and 54 seconds remaining in the first half. That has been all Cincinnati so far. 32 yards for the Cowboys, 271 for Cincinnati. Sun is starting to break through. Dorsett comes to the near side of the field, out near the 22-yard line. That's a gain of a couple. James Griffin, number 22, made the tackle. Lot was made about the 16-1 record the Cowboys had on games after Thanksgiving this season. 2 points with 9:17 to go in the half. Double tight end set. Fred Cornwell has come in. Cosby. Double coverage and a fine catch. Boy, Cosby really had to reach up and grab that one with some authority.
Well, he's going to catch it right between Cameron 50 and Barker 53. Outside and an inside linebacker. As you see him come down inside of Emmanuel King, now you see Cameron go to his outside, and now all Cosby does is go back to the inside and actually intercepts the football away from Cameron, number 50.
That is the 4th Cowboy first down. They operate from their 43 with 8:34 to go in the game in the first half. Dorsett gets a ride from Jeff Shue, number 59. And it's a gain of about 4.
And I talked to White in Dallas the other day and asked him, I said, well, you have a key on their bear defense. He said, when they bring in Emmanuel King in, number 90, the outside linebacker, he said, what we want to do is have 3-step drop passing and get rid of the football quickly, throwing quick slants and quick out and hitches. So far, we've seen none of that.
Second down and 5, Dallas, trailing by 22. Cornerbacks come up and crowd at the line of scrimmage. Renfro starts in motion. White on a roll. Fires it to Newsom, who gets up and might have enough of the first down. Fumble. They're going to rule the ball was down. Eddie Edwards, number 73, providing the rush on Danny White. And now we'll have a convention to see if the ball was down.
Recovered by Cincinnati.
In their last 4 games, the Cowboys had lost just 1 fumble. They've lost 2 today. And they have fumbled 3 times.
And now you see Newsom 30, he's got the football. Now comes the hit. Now there goes the football. Before he hit the ground, the ball was going. Shue 59, left outside linebacker, was the guy responsible for knocking it out.
The line judge, Dick McKenzie, at first ruled Dallas ball, but he was shielded from seeing that ball pop loose. 3 Dallas turnovers, 2 fumbles, and a pass interception. First down 10, Cincinnati with a 22-0 lead from their own 47. Brooks for 1. In the 4 games Dallas has lost this year, they have given the ball away more than they have taken it. They are minus 14 in their 4 losses. In just that way, and a few others. There it is. Plus 21 in 9 wins, minus 14 in the 4 losses. Second and 10. Schonert lobs it out, caught by Collinsworth. First down at the 40. Right in front of Ron Fellows.
To get the first down.
First and 10 from the 40-yard line. 6:22 to go first half. Brooks, quick opener. Fumble. Cowboys pick it up. Dallas has it at the 27-yard line. Michael Downs, number 26, with a little assistance provided by Jeffcoat.
We're going to see this time a little cross-buck action where your quarterback will step one way to freeze the linebackers and hand back quickly to, as you can see, the trap. Number 74 that time. Bladis cuts inside. 21. Brooks has it. He hits the ground. The ball's flying everywhere. And then Jeffcoat, 77, he's trying to help out Downs, I guess, that time to get some yardage.
There is Michael Downs. Gene Lockhart, number 56, stripped the ball. Everson Walls congratulating Downs. And now the Cowboys have it back on offense. That hasn't been exactly fortuitous for them so far today. First down and 10. Newsom for 1. Ross Browner was draped all over it, number 79. Kansas City blowing out Atlanta 24-7 in the second and 8. Little behind Tony Dorsett. He scoots up the sidelines. He is knocked out of bounds at the 34. That'll leave 4 more yards needed for the first down. Jeff Shue, number 59, made the tackle.
those kind of passes that people are watching this say, why would Danny throw a wide flare out to Dorsett that time when he had the...
Third down, 4. Third and 3. Four-man rush. Pass is dropped, and what a pop put on by Lewis Breeden on Timmy Newsom. Breeden, number 34, who styles himself after an old nemesis of yours, Ken Riley. Very quiet, very dignified.
And that was what was...
Again, the Cowboy offense unable to do anything. They have had one sustained drive today, but that ended in an interception. That's a great punt by Saxon. Martin, though, with a lot of room to return it. And he gets back as far as the 23-yard line before Steve Diossi makes the tackle. 5:10 to go after that 54-yard punt. 3 Eastern Division lead. Terry and I will be in Dallas for that one. Some of you will be watching Green Bay versus Detroit. That's at 12:30 Eastern. And then later in the afternoon, some of you will see San Francisco versus New Orleans, while others of you on the West Coast will watch St. Louis against the Los Angeles Rams. And, of course, the Rams and the 49ers meet in San Francisco on Monday night.
Rams had it going their way earlier in the year. Boy, they said, hey, we're atop this thing, got a 3-game lead. Now, all of a sudden, hey, they've let everyone else catch up with them.
John Robinson said after the Rams lost their first, well, we're 7-1, and the 49ers are still 3 back. Last week he said, well, we're 9-4, and we're in trouble. So that comes up Monday
And it's
night.
amazing, isn't it, how those things can happen when you have all that momentum. How in the world could you lose it?
Schoenert replaced Boomer Esiason earlier in this quarter. Esiason with a bruised knee. First and 10, Cincinnati from the 22. Kinnebrew for just a couple. And Gene Lockhart, number 56, made the tackle. And Randy White is having some problems extricating himself from the pile-up. I guarantee you he is not inviting Brian Blados on a fishing trip right now.
That looks like one of those things where a guy's got his hand caught in their face mask, or they've got a chin strap caught in another guy's eye or ear, and they're sitting there trying to pull all that stuff out and get them back into their huddle. You can bet one thing, Randy White wants to get rid of it. He don't want any part of those Bengals around him.
Second down, 7. 22-0. 4:40 to go first half. Cincinnati with all 22 points in the first quarter. Schoenert in some trouble. Down at the 10-yard line. Ed Jones, that is his 12th sack of 1985, and that equals a career high for a single season for Too Tall Jones, who at the age of 33 might be having his best year.
Well, they said that he's got 11 sacks this year, and he's playing the best he's ever. And he does a little singing, you know, around the spots in Dallas there. And talking to him, he said, I asked him when he thought about retiring. He said, no. He said, I'm having fun. I feel good. And as long as I feel that good and the Cowboys want me, I'll continue to play.
That's his 12th sack, equaling the number he had in 1978 before he went to box for a year. 3rd and 20. I would think it incumbent upon the Cowboys, if they want to get back in this game, to stop Cincinnati and score before halftime. Schoenert, Randy White coming. Schoenert rolling out, lobs it up, could be intercepted, and Downs drops it. Michael Downs had it right in his mitts.
Michael Downs was going all out that time when Schoenert got outside and made the throw going to his left. He just hung the ball a little bit and allowed Downs to come back from his safety spot and explode for the football. Actually, he may have been going too fast. You see those gloves he has on, those are sponge gloves, and then you hit that ball, it kind of bounces away from your hands, and so with all that speed and everything, maybe that was one of the reasons why he didn't.
Another low snap.
Bad kick.
Not a good kick at all. Bates at the 45. At the 35-yard line. The Cowboys do have good field position.
Well, one of the important things to look for, I've noticed so far that since Esiason's left the game, that the Bengals have gotten a little conservative running the football, Vernon, and not coming out and attacking again. Maybe they're laying back saying, well, we've got a 22-point lead. We're going to the halftime with that lead. Now the Cowboys, on the other hand, they have these opportunities, and I think it's now they have to assert themselves and get something on the board.
And if they do score before halftime, we do have a ball game. White with a play fake. Time, Tony Hill at the 20. That's his second catch today. Lewis Breeden makes the tackle.
You know what would be really interesting is if the Cowboys had a no-huddle offense and went up to the line of scrimmage with the Bengals just walking around out there, they actually could have had the ball snapped by now before the Bengals even got in the huddle.
Why don't more teams
to think of it in the first place?
3:05 to go first half. First down at the 20-yard line. Second time the Cowboys have been this far. Up the middle, Dorsett. He's got some room. He doesn't get a block downfield from Newsome, and if he had gotten one, he'd be in the end zone.
That's exactly right. When Newsome got through the line of scrimmage, if he picks up the cornerback that time, Breeden, then Danny walks into the end zone. One little cross-buck action. Peterson, 65, the guard, comes down on Crumry, seals off the inside. And now Dorsett is outside all by himself, and all he had to do was get a block that time. I mean, Bobby Kemp, 26, makes the stop, but all he had to do was get a block from Newsome, and he goes in the end zone.
The last 8 times the Cowboys have been inside the 20, they have scored touchdowns. In the last 2 games, they are 8 for 8. This is their first time inside the 20 today. Blitz coming. And boy, did they nail Dorsett on the first and goal play. Ron Simpkins, number 56, the linebacker, filled the gap.
I've always been one that admires good goal line defense, but I've always been one also that admires the Cowboys' goal line offense. They have one of the most imaginative goal line offenses with all the cross-buck action and all the crossing of their tight ends, and they always seem to find a way to get the ball into the end zone to their tight ends on the goal line and hit the ball. You don't have a lot of time here, so it's imperative that the quarterback make his decision and then fire the football in there.
Cosby is lined up tight to the right side. The 2 wide receivers both out left. Second and goal from the 5. Play action. Look for Dorsett. Fire in the dead zone. Deep, incomplete.
Great job that time by Zander, number 91, the left inside linebacker, because as Hill came across, Danny saw him wide open, and just when he got ready to throw the football to him, he picked up Zander coming sideburn. They'll play a gap defense down here. Now they'll probably run it to score, but it shouldn't work.
No shotgun. Didn't work.
Well, that wasn't a draw. That was a trap. But the point is that coming inside, it's awfully difficult to run inside on these goal lines because everyone gaps and pinches and linebackers are filling and there's no room to go.
Rafael Septien has not attempted a field goal in the last 3 games. I'm a little surprised, that they're going to go for the field goal here.
I'm surprised too because, in my opinion as an athlete, that's almost like saying you win. We didn't win. We'll kick a field goal. They needed to get a touchdown to get the momentum going and get their confidence back.
Gary Hogaboom, the backup quarterback, is the holder. Septien has hit 9 of his last 11. Make it now 10 of his last 12. And at some point in the game, this may have been what Landry had in mind. If they're going to get back in it, he has to compensate for that safety. So now they have negated the effect of the safety that opened the game, and they trailed by 19 points, but they had 3 yards for the touchdown and didn't go for it.
Well, that's a good point you're making. You negate the safety, you pick up an extra point. My point being, a touchdown, 7 points is a doggone lot better than 3, but
remember the 10. Mike Martin. Brian Salonen, number 89. Bill Bates, number 40. Victor Scott, number 22. And Everson Walls, number 24.
Cardiac kids here were killing these things off where they were shipping them around the country, but now they got 2 of them in case things go bad, I guess. But they are cute as they can be.
Now. May not be in a year.
Those are white tigers, by the way.
Shotgun formation. Schoner hands it off. Eddie Brown. And the Cowboys stayed at home and knocked him down at the 25. Let's see if Dallas uses one of its 2 timeouts that they have left. Victor Scott made the tackle, and the Cowboys do use 1 timeout. Stops the clock with 53 seconds to go. Have you applied for membership? Back to the game. 2nd down and 12. 53 seconds to go. Kinnebrew, Jeff Goat, and Bates make the tackle. The Cowboys will use 1 more timeout.
You see a safety Bates, 40 in the center of your screen. Now, Bates is a linebacker. He is playing a linebacker's position. So when you see him go up inside to make the tackle, it'd be very easy for me to sit here and say, safety blitz, Bates has got it.
Henry is not a candidate. There's Drew Pearson standing right behind Tony Hill. They now share the record for number of consecutive games in which a touchdown pass has been caught at 58.
I'm sure that Tom Landry is real happy about that right now, that they've broken all these records.
Yeah. I think the definition of that is stoic or angry. Not sure which. 46 seconds to go. 3rd and 11. Gang tackle, and the ball had been whistled dead before Ron Fellows stopped on it. But that may be the final play. Let's see. They haven't whistled. A fight is broken out with Don Smerick, number 60. Not sure who else was involved. Randy White must have been. Meanwhile, the clock continues to run down. It's now at 24 seconds. And they have finally marked the ball ready for play, so the Cowboys will not get it back. While all that was going on, the clock was running. Might be some kind of halftime oration in the Cowboy locker room. And there'll be a little more contentment, I think, in the Cincinnati locker room, though they have slowed down considerably from that explosive start in which they scored 22 points in the first quarter. That's the end of the first half with our score, Cincinnati 22 and the Cowboys 3.
Burger King. Aren't you hungry for Burger King, Herb? And by Apple Computer, makers of the Macintosh and Apple II families of personal.
For a touchdown, they had to settle for the Septien field goal. Vern Lundquist, along with Terry Bradshaw, and really Sam Weitz, just didn't spare anything in that first quarter.
Well, he told us in his meeting that we're going to come out and be aggressive, multiple offensive sets, 2 tight ends, reverses, gadget passes. That we have not seen yet, but we've seen an offense that has given their quarterback time to sit in there, read the coverage, and then hit the open man.
Terry, Dallas managed to slow things down a little bit in the second quarter. Are they still in a position where they can go about what they had wanted to do today?
Well, we're looking at a score of 22-3. What happened after the first quarter's explosion was that both teams started swapping the fumbles, and the Cowboys actually have moved the ball, but they've had the big turnovers. And I think coming into this half, they have to get back to that offense that has been so explosive the last 2 weeks, Vern. If they can do that, then they can get back in this football game.
One big play put in by Cincinnati specifically against the 4-0 for this game, and it resulted in a touchdown run by James.
We won our division and we're in the playoffs, but you don't really play football like that thinking, well, we need this for the tiebreaker.
Septien's kick will be taken by Mike Martin after it bounces. Martin fumbles, picks it up, and has it back to the 20. Almost to the 30. Indeed, that is where he gets. Bill Bates, number 40, made the tackle. At the end of the first half, 278 yards total offense to 95 for Dallas. And look at the time of possession, almost double that of the Cowboys. And 22 first quarter points. And Esiason is back in at quarterback. They go with a no-huddle offense. As time, Collinsworth got away from Ron Fellows. And they'll quickly go with a no-huddle again.
Well, they can't. Collinsworth is down on the sideline. Okay, now he's up.
Oh, will they miss him if he can't continue? 6'5", 200-pounder, now in his 4th year. And heading
He goes across the middle, and Esiason did a good job of getting the ball to him. Now, Cris is going to try to get out of bounds, and you're going to see Fellows, 27, hanging on him. And now what happens is that he gets his leg caught on him, twisted it, and fall, and then 10.
Eddie Brown at the 47. Everson Walls made the tackle.
Eddie Brown at the top of your screen. Linebacker sitting in the middle. Lockhart, Hegman, all of them coming right upside. The thing that's important again, the second time we've seen an all-out linebacker blitz, Esiason with a bad knee steps in there, gets rid of the football before Hegman gets to him, and completes it for a first down to Brown.
Actually just short of the first down. It'll be 2nd and 1 from the 47. 22-3, Cincinnati leads. Kinnebrew. Remember Bum Phillips talking about the kind of big backs he liked in those goal line situations. You want a back who moves the pile. There ain't no doubt about what Kinnebrew does.
Kinnebrew is a pile. So it's a pile hitting a pile, and then his pile's stronger than the other pile, and that's how come they got a first down.
With authority. Kinnebrew. If you joined us late, Cincinnati jumped out to a quick lead. They got a safety to open the game and then took over at their own 28. Quickly won 7 plays. Touchdown. Eddie Brown in motion. Kinnebrew breaks 1 tackle, breaks 2, has a first down to the 30.
Cowboys had success early in stopping the run with their 4-0 or their nickel package in the football game, meaning more defensive backs than linebackers. That time it backfired on them with needing footwork.
James Brooks, they go to the scat back and he picks up 1. That offensive line behind which those running backs are operating has Anthony Munoz, number 78 at 278 pounds, and these are program weights, folks. Skinny kid at 271.
Well, they'll get on a weight program at the end of the year and try to put that extra 15, 20 pounds on that's necessary to play for the Bengals.
2nd down and 9. No pressure again at all. Finally,
touchdown.
Steve Kreider, touchdown. That is his first of the year. Sixth catch of the season. Young man working on his PhD here at the University of Cincinnati.
Well, you can't say enough about those big fellas up front. We've said it time and time again, but it's the most important thing. As you see Kreider in the center of your screen, he just stops. He's read zone. He just stops, and then Esiason finds him, pops him with the football, and he trots right on in the end zone. But once again, the time that they give Esiason to throw the football is almost unbelievable.
See up above in between the goalposts, there's a sign, an ugly reminder for the Cowboys of 44-0. Well, it's now 29-3. And Steve Kreider caps the opening drive of the 3rd quarter. Only 9 interceptions.
The thing that is so impressive about him was the thing that Collinsworth, the thing that White had said, and the entire football team, is that he is so tough. When he walks into the huddle, he just takes command. He has that charisma and the ability naturally to go with all of that. It made him an outstanding quarterback in the National Football League.
That'll be a delay of game, and they'll come back and mark it back 5. James Jones at the 10. Reverse, Victor Scott, fumble. Cincinnati, I believe, has recovered, yes. That worked about as well as everything else has for Coach Landry. Jackson made the hit. Sam Washington made the recovery.
One thing that Sam Weiss said, well, everyone on our football we haven't mentioned make a big play.
We're approaching a blowout. Oh. Eddie Brown at the 10. You surprised?
I'm not surprised on behalf of the Bengals. I expected that, as I said at the outset of the game, the fact that I felt like Esiason had to have a big game. He had been playing well all year, and this offense is certainly an explosive and a creative offense. And on the other hand, I felt that the Cowboys were at the peak of their game offensively, and it just made for a natural matchup and a great, great game. So far, it's been one-sided.
2nd and 10.
Faking the blitz.
Brooks with a lot of room.
Same play they ran earlier.
Same result.
Cowboys faking the blitz.
The left front tire just blew out.
That play was the exact same play earlier, only this time a quick eye by the running back Brooks saw that he couldn't go inside, and what does he do? He goes outside. Same play, same results.
Jim Breech on to make it 36-3. On the same play put in specifically to work against the Dallas 4-0 defense.
Well, you would think that if you burn me once, that's my fault. Burn me twice, and holy mackerel. You're going to see this time Brooks is going to go up inside, then bounce it back outside. Now, that's a terrible example of it, I know, folks, but let's see what happens. Esiason comes out. There's the handoff. Now he goes outside, up inside, bends back to the outside, outruns Klinskell. Great block by Eddie Brown downfield on 24 Walls, and allows Brooks this time just to waltz right into the end zone.
M.L. Harris comes over to congratulate James Brooks. And the Bengals are about to even it up at 7-7 for the season. 9 for 92 and 2 touchdowns today. And it's going to put a little pressure on the Cleveland Browns, who are playing in Seattle later this afternoon. Now Jim Breech getting ready to kick off. This is Kenny Duckett seeing his first action for the Cowboys. Just picked up off the free agent list this week. And he counter-punches out to the 28-yard line. First and 10, Danny White fires it deep. Caught by Tony Hill. That is his 73rd reception of the season. And since the Cowboys are in all likelihood not going to win this, we'll go back to records. That ties the club record for the Cowboys, set by Ron Springs a few years back.
You're still into those records, huh?
Diving in that press guide. I'm going to sneak it in as best I can. Really significant stuff.
Well, the thing that you will see now is softer coverage now. You will see the Bengals let them get chunks, but not get the quick strikes.
First down and 10, Dallas from the 45. Mike Renfro.
Good job.
Beat Lewis Breeden, number 34. And that's a gain of 9 to the 46-yard line.
Well, that's the quick passing that Danny had told me the other day that they were going to use to catch these guys playing.
We started slow and tapered off. They've come back with a vengeance and are playing very well. Dorsett. First down at the 34-yard line. Ron Simpkins, number 56, makes the tackle.
Now, the thing I want to make a point of, so that people don't get confused, Vern, that are sitting home watching this and they're saying, now why weren't they able to do this in the first half? What has happened, folks, is very simply they're dropping their linebackers deep, that being the Bengals. They're dropping their corners and their safeties off and giving the Cowboys the big holes just to piece it and take it down the field, figuring it'll take them 5-6 minutes to get it down there and maybe score.
36-3 right now with 9:15 to go, third quarter. Dorsett, no room to run. Let's check other scores around the NFL. Up you 5-3. Dorsett coming right. Runs right into the chain marker. Pretty alert move by that fellow to get out of the way. Dorsett's 13th carry of the game. And a not particularly memorable afternoon for Tony, who lost 16 on his first carry after he fumbled and had to fight to get back into plus yardage. It's actually his 12th carry for 25 yards. 36-3 with 8:28 to go, third quarter. Third down, 5. And an audible by Danny White. Dorsett for the first down and out of bounds at the 22. John Simmons, former SMU product, number 25, made the play on Dorsett to force him out of bounds. There's Simmons, who was a longtime starter here, but has been relegated to a backup role now. One of SMU's All-Americans. Many of you will see, and be interesting to see if they can regroup or if indeed they had their minds on the Giant game today. Because of these two teams, Cincinnati could least afford to lose. Dorsett to the 17. And by that I mean the Cowboys are fighting for the NFC Eastern Division title. A loss today would not keep them from achieving that. They still have to beat New York to get it. Conversely, the Giants can win it by beating Dallas next week.
Well, you can kind of see how when the game started, the emotion was definitely on the side of the Bengals. They appeared early to be the team that wanted to win, the team that was ready to win. And I'm surprised because I believe great football teams rise to these kind of challenges. And I just felt like Dallas would come up and play a great game. I really expected to see that.
They haven't. 2nd and 7. White, Renfro. 1st and goal at the 8. John Simmons, number 25, again with the tackle.
That's a good job by Danny.
Cincinnati out of the end zone in the second, but they gave up 22 in the first and 14 so far here in the third. 1st and goal from the 8. White in trouble. There is an interesting battle going on in the center of the line. Tim Crumry, number 69, had 7 tackles and 2 assists in the first half. He's matched against Tom Rafferty, and because these two teams have not played each other since '79, a Dallas newspaper asked Rafferty if he knew any of the Bengals, and Tom named about 10, and he says, now I'm not sure about the guy who's across from me. Crummer or Crumry or whatever his name is, I think he's a pretty good player. I think Rafferty has found out. There is Tom Rafferty starting his 147th game. 2nd and goal from the 21. Screen pass. Dorsett gets a great block from Rafferty and gets back near the original line of scrimmage at the 8. Jimmy Turner, number 35, made the tackle as Dick LeBeau, the defensive coordinator of the Bengals, has gone with a lot of backups in the defense now. 3rd and goal from the 9. Shotgun. Carl Poe has come into the game. White. Renfro, touchdown.
We had talked about the Cincinnati Bengal offensive line giving Esiason time. This time, White has all the time in the world. It's Rafferty. That time, Peterson, all these guys gave him plenty of time and allowed Renfro 82 to work himself from the outside, come up underneath the linebackers, and then beat Simmons into the end zone and make the TD catch.
Rafael Septien on to try the extra point out of Gary Holgeboom's hold. Cowboys go 71 yards in 11 plays. There's still not a smile on Tom Landry's face. They trail by 26. Mike Martin and Stanford Jennings deep to return it. Cincinnati, of course, scored 45 points last week in defeating Houston. In their previous 2 games prior to that game, they had not scored a touchdown. Had been held to 6 points in each game. A loss to the Raiders and a loss to Cleveland. But they have put 36 on the board today. Mike Martin to the 25-yard line. A reminder, next Saturday.
I couldn't play. I never played basketball. I couldn't dribble.
Dribble?
No, could not. I couldn't even dribble in PE when I was little. I just never could dribble.
Threw the javelin a long way.
You don't make a lot of money throwing a javelin.
That's true. Esiason, Larry Kinnebrew. Oh, he is a load to bring down.
I wonder, when you like to put one of those pressure meters on one of those defensive backs, when they come up and get close to this guy and have to make the tackle and see how that pulse beat rises as close as they get.
And 2. Esiason to James Brooks. That's another Cincinnati first down.
Well, the Cowboys have tried everything today, Byrne, to try to get to Esiason and stop the offense of the Bengals. They've blitzed. They've sent linebacker blitzes. Every time they've done it, they've had a pass on, they being the Bengals, and they've completed it either for a first down or just a yard shy. They've come up with the safety blitzes, and they've had 2 long touchdown runs and 1 TD pass. So right now, the Cowboys are scratching their head trying to figure out a way to defense this team. And right now, I doubt we'll see any more safety blitzes. I will be very surprised if we see any more.
Well, the thing that hits me is how well the offensive line has controlled that line of scrimmage today. Here comes a linebacker blitz, but Esiason stands tall and throws to Collinsworth, and that'll be 6 more. Like Terry said, once those nerves come back and you get the feeling back in your leg, it doesn't hurt so much.
I've been carried off on a stretcher, and once the nerves come back, you say, oh, I'm embarrassed to go back out. This time, Collinsworth, as you see him down the middle, no one in the middle. Absolutely no one, as they have a linebacker blitz up. Clinkscale is up to take the tight end, leaves the middle wide open. Fellows trailing Collinsworth, touchdown. Boy, that's a great throw.
3 touchdown tosses for Esiason. Collinsworth told us yesterday he loves the kid in the huddle. And he says he throws it in a hurry and high, a la Noah Ryan. Jim Breech. He's calling home to Orlando. Did you love it in Florida, folks? Caught his 4th touchdown pass of the year. And Boomer Esiason threw his 3rd of the game. That is the 6th time in his 2 years that Esiason has thrown 3 touchdowns in a single game, and that record freaks is an all-time Cincinnati record. Jim Breech is on to kick off. Can he duck it? No, he can't. And there's a penalty at the 20-yard line. A flag down. Robert Jackson, number 37.
Holding the held shoe that time, number 59, a linebacker for the Bengals, going down on kickoff coverage.
Holding number 46, receiving team, first up.
Let's watch the touchdown again.
Linebacker blitzing from the outside, going up inside. Lockhart freezes. Now you see Clinkscale there, and you're going to see Brown's coming across in motion, and they will double Brown in the slot and freeze Fellows man for man on Collinsworth on the outside. Plenty of time to throw the football. Good job by Esiason. Just hangs it up and lets Collinsworth with that great speed run under the football.
That is only the first penalty on Dallas today, but it sets them up with a first down at their own 11-yard line. Danny White, his team trails 43-10. 21 third quarter points. Dorsett to the 14. Now for an NFL Today report. Let's go to Brent Musburger in New York. Western played here in '82. The strike shortened year, and that game was wiped out. I think they would just as soon have this one wiped out. Second down and 7. Dorsett. to the 15-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 6.
The thing that I find so amazing is that we knew a lot about the offense of the Bengals, but quite honestly, not a lot about their defense. We knew they were young. They only have 3 men on this starting entire football team that are over 10 years of 6.
Dorsett drops it. This is a defense that was ranked 23rd in the NFL coming in today. And Dorsett heads to the sidelines, jawing a little bit with Robert Jackson, number 37.
Ever since he dropped the ball, Jackson stayed with Tony all the way, trying to intimidate him, try to get Tony to kind of counter back a little bit. But Tony learned his lesson against the Eagles earlier in the year, and he wants no part of that.
Mike Martin on the return. Mike Saxon's punt. Sun is shining in Cincinnati. Martin across the 50, and Brian Salonen hits him up high. Makes the tackle with help from James Jones and Victor Scott. We've still got 2 minutes and 44 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. Cincinnati has 21 points in this quarter. Sometimes it's a case of the beauty and the beast, and it is that in Cincinnati. There's the beauty. There's a friend of yours.
Oh, thank you. It looks like you and I together.
Sure does.
You're the one with the helmet on.
43-10. And we've still got 2:44 to go 3rd quarter. Charles Alexander has checked into the offensive backfield. That's Alexander in motion, and Brooks up the middle. Pops a helmet and gets to the 45. They're sending in the plays. Doing a heck of a job.
That does look like some of the sideline language we've seen some of these offensive coordinators use.
That's right.
Only without the helmet.
2nd down and 6 from the 45. Esiason with a no-huddle offense. 555 yards for Cincinnati last week, and they're getting close this week. Finally, the whistle blows. Three. 1:18 to go, 3rd quarter. Alexander in trouble. Gene Lockhart makes the hit. It'll be 4th down. And Lockhart and Alexander get up shoving. A little frustration showing on the part of the Cowboys.
Well, the best way, I was always taught the best way to shut a crowd up or to shut a team up was to just point to the scoreboard, and that's what Charles ought to do instead of trying to pick a fight with Eugene Lockhart, who is one tough middle linebacker, and imagine a pretty good street fighter. Is just point to the scoreboard and walk off the field and keep your pride intact, and that's the only way, and that's the most humbling effect anybody can do is just point to the scoreboard.
How about this? The Bengals are going for it on 4th and 4. Any in-your-face involved here? Here's Alexander. He's got it. How do you like them apples?
And look who carried the football. Alexander, who Weiss says is our most consistent overall balanced running back of running and catching. We have Kinnebrew for the power. We have Brooks for the speed. But in between Schonert or Esiason, he went with the young rookie, the young southpaw, who has come through for him. You get Schonert in there, and there's not that much of a difference.
The end of the 3rd quarter with the score 43-10. We now pause for a word from your local station.
Sponsored by Light Beer from Miller. Everything you've always wanted in a beer and less. And by AC Delco, the smart parts.
We are back for the final 15 minutes. Dallas and Cincinnati, 43-10. The Bengals lead, and they have a 1st down at the Cowboy 35. It has been a Cincinnati showcase today. Vern Lundquist and Terry Bradshaw. And they faked the reverse. Brooks, well, Sam White has gone for it on 4th and 4, and he comes out with a reverse for the 33-point lead. You still don't think he's piling it on a little bit?
I'm giving you my impressions as an ex-athlete and as a player. I was Chuck Nolan. We're fixing to have another play with a no-huddle offense.
Okay, we'll get back to it after this one.
This has been kind of fascinating. We knew they were going to use the no-huddle, but not exclusively.
2nd down and 2. Dave Rivington over the ball. 43-10. M.L. Harris in motion. James Brooks. And is caught short. Must be a fan of Pittsburgh's as well, huh?
I don't think so, not here. I see your point running up the score, but I see the other side of it too. I'd like to see them get these kids out and put the other kids in.
3rd and 2. Alexander, he may go for a while. Knocked out of bounds at the 18 by Everson Walls. 1st down.
This is a great effort by Alexander. You see the power eye, both the eye back and the fullback, as Brooks makes a block, and then Alexander comes inside of Kinnebrew's block, gets outside, and then Walls comes over and knocks him out of bounds. There's no greater feeling, Vern, right now than the offensive team for the Bengals knowing they've got this game. Well, it is a great feeling.
Well, they have controlled that line of scrimmage in an awesome degree. Esiason. That's good to the 11-yard line. Catch is made by Cris Collinsworth. Let's get you up to date on other scores. New England still leading Detroit 20-6 in the 4th quarter. Chicago has extended its lead to 14 over Indianapolis. Kansas City by 28 over Atlanta. Green Bay trailing Miami still, but only by 3 in the 4th quarter. St. Louis 28-9 over New Orleans. 2nd down, 4 from the 11. That's a 1st and goal at the 5. Randy White made the tackle. Jets leading Buffalo 21-7 in the 4th quarter. And Philadelphia hangs on to a 2-point lead over Washington 12-10. Of course, that 44-0 defeat that Chicago laid on the Cowboys 3 weeks ago is the largest margin of defeat in Cowboy history. Back in 1970, the year in which Tom Landry's team was defeated by St. Louis 38-0, they also lost a game to Bud Grant's Vikings 54-13. And this game is approaching that kind of a score. It's right now 43-10. Alexander. It's soon to be 50-10 because that is a touchdown. He had crossed the plane before the fumble. And listen to the ovation.
This time by Rivington, right guard Montoya, Blanis, left guard, little counter action. And all Alexander does is go up inside, hits the linebacker, bounces off, and then the ball hits the plane and then finally breaks loose what appears to be a fumble. But once it crosses the plane, then that's a touchdown.
They called him Alexander the Great when he played football at LSU. Jim Breech on to kick the extra point. Dallas Cowboys trail the Cincinnati Bengals by 40 points, and we've still got 12 minutes to go in the game. 37 win last week. The Bengals 550 yards. Today, with 12 minutes remaining in the game, 501, including 224 on the ground. 1,056 yards in 2 weeks, and one is wondering how in the world they've lost 7 games. There is Boomer Esiason right behind Pat McAnally. Here's Jim Breech. Kenny Duckett. To the 22-yard line. The National Football Conference Eastern Division standings will now look like this. The Giants, of course, can tie the Cowboys by defeating Houston this afternoon. That game in the Astrodome gets a 4 o'clock East Coast start. Washington 7-6, Philadelphia 6-7. and St. Louis 4-9, depending on what happens today. And next week, the Giants against the Cowboys in Texas Stadium. And the NFC Eastern Division lead will be on the line. It's kind of hard to say that with the team trailing by 40 points here today. But nevertheless, that is what's coming up next week. Danny White. Tony Dorsett. And a flag is down.
They're going to call this on Robert Jackson, number 37, come in and play in free safety in place of James Griffin. What he did was Dorsett was going out of bounds. He saw it. He hit him and then drove him into the sideline after he got out of bounds.
5 yards, big smash foul, number 37, defense, first down.
There's Robert Jackson. His teammates call him Catfish.
And he doesn't like it. You're going to see this again. Now Jackson's coming over. Tony gives him the stiff arm, and there's the left hand and twist Tony's head around. You can see that, and there's the flag goes down.
That moves the ball out to the 37-yard line. First down and 10. Shotgun formation. Dorsett comes left. He's got Titleser in front. And moves it out near the 47-yard line. John Simmons, number 25, made the tackle. Of course, the Cowboys bounced back from a defeat at the hands of Chicago and won their next 2 games. They've got to try and forget this and get ready for New York next week. How tough is that to do? Well, when do you forget about a humiliation like this?
I don't know. I never was in this situation.
Good point.
And so I don't know when you forget about it. I only know that great football teams don't lose 44-0 and then lose whatever they're going to lose by today. You just don't do it. I don't think you can continuously keep coming back and then having these letdowns. You have to win on the road, and they have not done that today. I don't know.
Second down. White. Tim Newsom. And that's good for a Cowboy first down at the 45.
I will say this, though. I will say that this football team seems to rise to the occasion that it's necessary. Now, today's game may have, in their eyes, not have been a necessary thing for them. So what? We lose. We go home. We got the Giants, and we want to beat the Giants, right? So they go down there. Next week, they might beat the Giants just like this. I don't know. That may be the personality of this football team. But my experience is, if you're good, you're consistently good week in and week out, and you don't go up and down, a ladder like this.
Which has been Cincinnati's problem as well this season, but they've certainly found a spark today. First down and 10. 50-10 is the score. White going deep right side. Great coverage. Almost intercepted. Ray Horton was stride for stride with Tony Hill.
One of the really good young cornerbacks is this Horton kid. As you can see, Hill can't get away from him, and Horton's got his eyes on the football, and the football is led to the inside, and 50-10
is the score. Cincinnati leads it. Sidearm, and Renfro drops it. Well, what a great pass by White.
This just goes along with the things that have happened to the Cowboys today. You get a great effort out of Danny that time, apparently sacked. As you're going to see here, he's apparently sacked. Dorsett comes inside, is going to give some assistance. Whoop, no assistance. So now, all of a sudden, he's got 2 guys on him, and the ref's ready to call him down. He escapes Crumry right there to fixing to put him down, and then Renfro, the sure-handed receiver, drops the football.
Danny White for the day, 1 interception, 1 touchdown. It's 3rd and 10, and he goes from the shotgun. Here comes the rush. Eddie Edwards, screen pass. Dorsett.
Good running.
Great move. And Renfro tried to come back and help with a block on Breeden and couldn't get there in time.
But if Renfro could have come over when Tony had the man hanging, when Breeden was hanging on Dorsett and blocked Breeden that time, he would have freed Dorsett for the touchdown. Eddie Edwards, 73, they let him in, set him up, think, oh boy, I'm going to get a sack. And they said, no way. Little screen outside, Rafferty, good block downfield. Now Tony with that great speed cuts all the way back across the field. Now pick up some more blocks. Now there's Breeden. Now right there, had Renfro been able to get a shoulder on to Breeden, he would have knocked him off, and then Dorsett would have gone in for the touchdown.
Nevertheless, it's a first down at the 26-yard line, and again the shotgun formation, 9:40 remaining in the game. White being chased again. Sidearms it again. Newsom makes the catch, and he's got a first down out of bounds at the 13. Now for an NFL Today report, let's go to Brent Musburger in New York. Of having to win the last 3 to win the division. And they finish out with games on the road at Washington and at New England. But how impressive have they been this afternoon?
Taking the blitz. They're all up inside. There they come.
White reads it. Tony Hill came down right on the back of his head. Horton got underneath it. And the Cowboy medical staff hurries on to the field.
And Tony landed on his shoulder inside of his neck.
Timeout has been called, and we'll be back in a moment. Here is Tony Hill attempting to make the catch and running into Ray Horton.
Well, they had a safety blitz and sent 2 linebackers and a safety that time. And then Danny saw it, knew he didn't have time, and so did Hill. They've done so well as adjust their routes when they see blitzes. And that time he came inside, and Danny had the ball deflected at the line of scrimmage and floated up in the air. And then Hill made the effort to catch the football and landed on his neck. Appears to be all right.
He walked off by himself, and it appears to be a hamstring or a thigh muscle injury more so than the neck. It is an incomplete pass, second down and 10.
I need to hit on the neck, on the head, and pull a ham.
Blitz coming from the linebackers. Screen pass. Tim Newsom one-on-one. And a fine defensive play, and now a flag flies at the 10-yard line.
And a good flag. He should have thrown that flag.
Give Dallas a first and goal.
That's on Breeden that time. Newsom outside. He gets caught by the leg. He drags the receiver and falls down. Then Breeden comes over top and hits him late. You know, don't do those things.
34, defense, late hit. First down.
This time they had the blitz on again. Now the quick pass out in the flat to Newsom makes the catch. Now he's tackled. All right, now he's trying to get away. I'll pull him a little bit. Come on, pull. Now he's on the ground. He's down. Now, hey, no sense in that. What are you doing? No sense in it. You got a big lead here. There's no reason for you to do those kind of things. Ken Riley would not have done that, and that's his hero. So, Lewis, don't do that anymore.
That gives the Cowboys a first and goal just inside the 5-yard line. 50-10 with 8:38 remaining in the game. Dorsett, no gain. And it'll be second down and goal. Phil Pozderac, number 75, to check back into the Cowboys offensive line. He started the season as the starter at left tackle. Was injured and lost his job to Chris Schultz, and they moved him into a backup role on the right side behind Jim Cooper, and that is the spot he's occupying. Well, now he's in there as an extra tight end, as a matter of fact. There's the clock, 8:10 to go in the game, and 50-10 is the score. Play fake, into the flat, Newsom. Out of bounds at the 1.
When you run these play-action passes on the goal line, I said earlier, you have to get the ball to these people quickly. You can't force the football. You can't hold it. That time when Danny came out, right off the bat, Newsom was open. you throw the football to Newsom before he gets so close to the sideline. Now you allow him to get his shoulders turned up before he slides out of bounds and get in the end zone. You can't wait. You got to make your mind up, and then bang, you got to hit him with the football.
And because he didn't, it's 3rd and goal from the 1.
Play action.
Think so?
No.
Yep.
Touchdown.
Cosby's there.
Son of a gun. I should have gone on and said yes. I'd have been a hero.
Well, you had an inkling. And Doug Cosby gets his 5th touchdown catch of the year.
This is the old tight end in motion. You play action, and you see as Danny comes out and bootlegs, you see that Cosby had gone in motion, and normally when they do that, they'll lean him up inside and block him on a tackle or hooking in outside. He went outside that time, didn't hook anyone, eased out in the flat, and he was wide open for the touchdown.
Rafael Septien comes to narrow the margin of defeat. It is now 50-16. 50-17. 7 minutes and 48 seconds remaining in the game, and the Cowboys trail 50-17. His 3rd string quarterback is Steve Kreider. He has not played yet this year. He might play today as he warms up on the sideline. And Tony Hill has his hamstring wrapped. You can see the bandage around the thigh after he took that shot from Ray Horton at the 5-yard line. And he will not be back today. And those things can linger. Here's Septien with a kickoff. Stanford, Jennings, and Mike Martin are the deep men. Mike Martin picks it up at the 7 and gets back to the 17. Vince Albritton made the tackle. And a new quarterback coming in for the Bengals gets a standing ovation. He is the 15-year veteran, Kenny Anderson. He's an old friend of yours, I know.
You bet. He'll go down as one of the greatest quarterbacks that ever played, one of the most accurate arms and an uncanny mind to pick up blitzes. He was impossible for us to blitz. And a great competitor.
And has adapted to his new role with the Bengals with surprising equanimity. He's very satisfied with what's going on. There's Alexander to the 20. Kenny Anderson in his 15th year, and he told you yesterday he didn't know he's going to retire or not.
Well, he's not. He hasn't made his mind up, and he said that I'll take some time, and he said I have a job now. I own a business in the area, and it's keeping me busy, and he said I have plans for retirement, but I do not know if I'm going to retire. Of course, the situation at hand, I would like to see him retire and go on. You know, I hate to see a guy like that just did not play, really.
2nd down, handoff Alexander.
Oh, good running.
Remember the best game you ever saw Kenny play?
It was against us. He was 20 for 22. I think he threw 2 or 3 touchdowns, maybe 4 in that game. And he set an all-time NFL record for completion in one game. Of course, in '81, he took the Bengals to the Super Bowl and had an all-pro year, MVP in the league. Out of Augustana, they say the small college guys can't make it. And I think if you look at number 14, he's a good example right there that there's hope for everyone that thinks he can make it in the National Football League, regardless whether you're big school or small school.
1st down and 10, Cincinnati. Cris Collinsworth, Anderson finds him. That is only the 15th completion this season for Kenny Anderson. And listen to the roar from the crowd. Kenny Anderson's alma mater, Augustana, yesterday won its 36th consecutive game. It's located in Rock Island, Illinois. That's where Ken Anderson played football. My dad graduated from theological school at Augustana 44 years ago as a Lutheran minister. It's a good school. Left side. intended for Stanford Jennings. First final in for the day. It was a tough one. I think surprising to a lot of folks, but the Chicago Bears hang on to defeat Indianapolis 17-10 at home. And next week, the 13-1 Chicago Bears travel to New York to take on the Jets, and you'll see that. It's a Saturday telecast. It all begins at 12 o'clock Eastern with the NFL Today next Saturday on CBS Sports. 5:40 remaining in our game. Stanford Jennings to the 45-yard line. Gene Lockhart, Don Smerrick, and Dexter Clinkscale make the tackle. And that clock continues to wind down. 50-17. There's Dorsett. Do you read the newspapers when you guys would lose on those rare occasions in Pittsburgh? Did you read the newspapers the next day?
I would read the newspapers on Thursday and Friday, and I would try to stay away from them on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday because that was when all the critiquing was going on. I wanted to avoid that.
Anderson. How about that? On a 3rd and short, Brian Blados, 300 pounds. And he gets his first NFL catch.
Blados will be to the far right of your screen as he comes down. See him there? Now he goes back outside. There's no one there. Look at this. Great effort. Gets up, does a little tip job, dives for it. This is something they do. They bring in Blados and move him out wide, and then they'll bring Kozerski, 64, to go up, take his spot, and makes him an eligible receiver. He is the second big hunk of that offensive line who's caught a pass this year. Anthony Munoz has one, too. That was Charles Alexander. There is Ed Too Tall Jones on the sideline. Already in the process of trying to wipe this one out. It'll be second down as Bill Bates looks on. There's a degree of shell shock in the faces of the Cowboys as the Bengals have dominated from day one. I mean, the minute this ball game opened, it has been Cincinnati's game. Bill Johnson gets the handoff. Big 230-pound rookie from Arkansas State. And that brings up another 3rd down. See if those offensive guys get back in there. Blados, and there's Mike Wilson, number 77. He's saying, when's my turn? I met Wilson on a plane with his wife when he was drafted out of Georgia. He'd just come back from Canada where he'd signed the Canadian Football League. And then later on, of course, he came back and signed with the Bengals a year later and has been with them, been their starting right tackle and doing an outstanding job ever since.
Anderson into the flat. A little too much. It'll be 4th down. So Kenny Anderson again gets a hand as he comes to the sideline.
Had Kenny turned around that time, defensive back for the Cowboys had fallen down, and Cris Collinsworth, there wasn't a defensive back within, I'd say good 30, 35 yards, and all Kenny would have had to do is turn around and put it in his left hand, and he could have gotten it to him for a touchdown. As it is, it's probably best that they threw an incompletion.
Pat McAnally is on to punt, and Bill Bates to return for the Cowboys. He waits at the 10-yard line. Only the 3rd time McAnally has had to punt today. Blocked by Everson Walls. Picked up by the Cowboys, and they're still running. This is Jesse Penn, and he'll score. And that is the first time since the 70s that the Cowboys have scored on a blocked punt return for a touchdown. The last time was against Philadelphia, and a guy named Jay Saldi picked it up and ran it in after Charlie Waters had blocked it. Walls blocked it, and Penn gets the touchdown.
McAnally, not one of your quick kickers, not a two-stepper. He steps up, and boy, that time Walls had beaten his man from the outside and got into position. Actually, McAnally, had he been a two-step kicker, that ball would have still been blocked. Good job by Penn, scoops it up and takes it in. You know, he returned, 2 for touchdowns, 1 for a touchdown, at least in the preseason game. That's how this guy even made this football team, and one of the reasons.
Rafael Septien on to add the extra point. And that gives the Cowboys one more point of respectability. It's now 50-24. And the block kick comes with 2:45 to go in the game. Officially a 46-yard return by Jesse Penn, his first NFL touchdown. And the Cowboys go back home now. They'll regroup and face the Giants next week. The Giants 8-5 and playing Houston later on this afternoon. Most of you will see that game. Some of you after the Monday night game, and they finish out at home against the Raiders. Rafael Septien getting ready to kick it deep to Robert Jackson, number 37. Everybody expecting the onside kick, so he is the deep man. Here comes the onside kick. Flag is down, and the ball is out of bounds. Here comes the referee, Dick Jorgensen. The Cowboys may have been offside.
Offside, left side of the kicking team's line, deep line, first down.
Onside kick goes into the file with everything else that hasn't worked today. 528 yards for Cincinnati. The club record for the Bengals is 571. They came close last week against Houston. The Cowboys have 258 yards of total offense today. And the Bengals have a first down at the Cowboy 43 with 2:40 to go in the ball. Bill Johnson, number 30, chased by Lockhart, gets by him, chased by Bates, almost gets by him. And the clock will continue to run as Johnson has picked up a first down. Another final end, the New England Patriots run their record to 10-4 for the season as they defeat Detroit 23-6 at home. New England still involved in the chase for the AFC East. St. Louis defeats New Orleans 28-16. That's at St. Louis, and Wade Phillips suffers his first defeat as the New Orleans coach. 28-16 the final there. Sam Wyche, his team is about to go 7-7. And what a game plan they put together for this ball game. There is the 2-minute warning. The Cincinnati Bengals will win it. It's just a matter now by how much. The Dallas Cowboys are about to suffer their first defeat on a game played after Thanksgiving since 1967. They have also given up more yards today than ever before in the 26-year history of the franchise. 543, and Cincinnati still has the ball with a first down. Bill Johnson to the 16-yard line. This telecast is presented by the authority of the National Football League and is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Cincinnati Bengals and the National Football League is prohibited. 1:35 to go in this ball game. Cincinnati at Washington next week, then finishes out at Detroit.
I tell you, they don't have an easy schedule. They've got to go to Washington, then I believe where they go to New England from there. So this is their last home game, and if they can take this game, if they can take this road show on the road and play like this, oh boy, they're something else. But then they may not even get in the playoffs.
Johnson. That's for a couple more. Coming up tonight on CBS, it'll all kick off with they're dancing in Cincinnati. Eddie Edwards and Ross Browner. Final 35 seconds, evaporating into the distance. That may be a touchdown. Nope, a yard short. 18 seconds to go.
Well, you can't fault great effort, but you got to believe it. You know, the Cowboys are going to play these Bengals again one of these days with 8 seconds, 7 seconds, and I just wouldn't want to get in the end zone.
Good point. 50-24 might be satisfaction enough. Tom Landry as Sam White makes the trek all the way across the field to shake his hand.
Did he shake it?
Tom Landry shook his hand.
Some coaches, you know, won't shake your hand.
Understand that Chuck Noll didn't once. The executive producer of the NFL on CBS is Terry O'Neill. Our senior producer is Charles H. Milton III. Today's game produced by Mike Arnold and directed by Bob Dunphy. Associate Director John Fortunato and our Field Technical Manager Artie Tinn, Vic Frank, and Greg Callender are broadcast associates. 560 yards of total offense for the Cincinnati Bengals. That is the second highest in this franchise's history. As Cincinnati scores 22 points to open the game, scoreless in the second quarter, they come back with 21 more in the third quarter, and they wind up winning it 50-24. Bengals are 7-7. The Cowboys fall to 9-5. And we'll be back in just a moment.
It's 23-6. They down the Detroit Lions, the final score there, and many of you watched that game. The Chicago Bears.
I suppose the most fascinating aspect of today's blowout was the game plan put together by Sam White.
Well, their offense, he's a tremendous offensive mind, and the things that he told us were the things that he did, the reverses. He said if we get inside the 30-yard line and we get that Dallas blitz where Klinkscale is up inside and those receivers are out over our receivers, then we're going to ask Remington to block down on the safety, and we'll just have a little quick trap, and those guys will be up there telling who they're going to block, making them think it's a pass, and then boom, they'll hit them, and they'll go. There'll be nobody there to make the tackle. We saw that. We saw the isolation where they got Collinsworth man for man and got the big touchdown. We saw the running of Kinnebrew. Everything. We saw the reverse early to make guys stay at home. And then the thing we saw that we didn't expect, or at least I didn't, Vern, we saw great defense.
Now, if you're Dallas, and I realize you said you've never been through a blowout like this, but put yourself in Tom Landry's mind if you can. How do you get these guys ready to come back and play New York?
Well, I don't know how you do it. They seem to have the ability to come back from games. First thing comes to mind is a 44-0 beating by the Bears. And like they said, the Cowboys seem to be a football team that when they know they have to win, they win. Today, maybe they didn't think that. It's not making an excuse for them. I would have wanted to win very badly here today. But going home against the Giants, maybe Coach Landry might step on a few toes and hurt a few feelings. If I were the players, they're not going to be reading the papers and hearing all those great things about them. They're going to hear bad things, and they should come out angry.
Well, they lose at 50-24. Good win for Cincinnati. Let's go back to Brent, New York.
All right, Vern and Terry, thank you very much. And the NFL Today will continue on CBS.